My husband Jeff and I are the parents of 6 children.
Each of our children is important to us, and we love being together as a family. Whatever we're doing, our time together is priceless.
As parents, we want to keep our children healthy and safe. Of course, we've heard a lot about child safety, but like most people, we never really thought anything could happen to our family. Then our 10-year-old daughter Casey let a stranger in our house whom she thought was a police officer. That's when we decided our family, and maybe others, needed to get street smart.
When we created Capstone Entertainment and the Safe Kids Project, we could only hope that parents would recognize the importance and the value of the educational tools that Capstone creates.
Fortunately, you have. Our nationally acclaimed video, Get Street Smart, A Kid's Guide to Stranger Dangers, is the first film in a series of what we call edutainment videos.
Edutainment is our commitment to producing educational videos on issues that are relevant to parents and entertaining to children. Research shows that video is one of the most effective ways to teach our children. We've assembled some of the most talented people in film and television to work with us on this video series because we realize that safe kids are no accident. In fact, early child education is a key to stopping problems before it's too late. Today's families simply cannot wait to educate. Children need to learn about safety and important core values while they're still young.
The family values Jeff is talking about are things we've heard a lot about recently. But what you need to know is that at Capstone, family entertainment isn't just a catchy phrase or a trend.
We want Capstone Entertainment to be a resource for you to enrich your children's lives by educating their minds and their hearts about what it means to be part of a family.
I guess it's not so much a matter of teaching family values as it is recognizing the value of the family.
We welcome you as the newest member of the Capstone Entertainment family. Enjoy the program.
What parent hasn't experienced the sick feeling of misplacing a child, or the relief when he or she is finally found? But what if he isn't found? For 2 hours, 2 days, never. Kidnap. The word conjures up a parent's worst nightmare. Hello, I'm Cindy Williams, and as a parent, there's nothing more terrifying than the thought of my own children missing. That's why I feel it's so important to continue educating myself as well as my family so that we remain safe, happy, and together. You just watched our friend Corny zap his way out of some very real-life threatening situations. The very situations that thousands of kids every year find themselves in. The sad truth is that most aren't as lucky as Corny. In fact, they've become a statistic. The U.S. Department of Justice released a shocking study in 1988 that has remained unchanged for the past 6 years. Over 350,000 children a year are abducted by family members, usually in estranged family or divorce situations. The trauma to children can be enormous. Over 4,600 children are abducted by non-family members, in other words, strangers. 300 plus of those abductions are children who are gone for long periods of time. Tragically, 50 to 150 of those are murdered each year. To help us further understand this issue, let me introduce Dr. Laura Schlesinger, noted psychotherapist, host of the nationally syndicated radio talk show, and author of the current best-selling book, 10 Stupid Things Women Do to Mess Up Their Lives, and a parent herself.
Thank you, Cindy.
Dr. Schlesinger, what happens to kids who are kidnapped?
Well, sadly, most children are taken by sex offenders. Others are exploited in child pornography or prostitution rings, or especially in the case of infants, are sold. It's important for parents to understand that few kidnappers randomly snatch a child. Rather, they groom the child sometimes for weeks, even months before they make their move.
What do you mean by groom?
They hang out near the schools, churches, or other places where children congregate and watch for opportunities to cultivate certain types of children.
And what types are those?
Well, children with poor self-images, those who are easily intimidated by their peers or who are pleasers, ones who are desperate for love or friendship.
What else?
They watch for how friendly a child is. Will he come up to a car? Is she easily flattered? Do they hang with a group or can they be tempted away alone? They also observe where the adults are in the child's life. How much protection does the child have? Does the child walk home alone? Is he or she a latchkey child coming home to an empty house?
Then what happens?
Kidnappers begin by making friends with the child, finding moments to talk to them, flatter them, play with them. They often offer gifts of candy or toys. They subtly gain a child's trust and get them to confide in them. They ask questions like, "Where are your parents? Are you happy at home?" One of the most recent and insidious ploys kidnappers use is the computer. Total strangers engage in conversations with computer-savvy kids on what are called BBSs, or bulletin board services.
How does that relate to kidnappings?
Adults, often sexual deviants, pose as another child during computer chats. Sometimes without warning, they bring up pornographic material on a screen, and once it's in a child's mind, it tends to ricochet around and stay in there. The worst scenario is eventually the adult arranges to meet the child face to face, and the kidnapping or molestation occurs.
To me, the scariest part about this is a criminal can get in touch with virtually anyone, anywhere, that he or she can access with a computer. Now, what do you advise in this case?
Parents should first understand how the computer works and what their child does on the computer. Never use the computer as a babysitter. Advise the children not ever to give out personal information over computer networks. If a child wants to meet someone they have contact with, certainly parents should accompany them.
Well, this is very disturbing stuff. The bad news is most child offenders are clever and devious, and in most cases, children innocently go along with them of their own free will. The kidnapper breaks down the defenses and then moves in. First the grooming, then the assault. The good news is over 100,000 attempted kidnappings a year are thwarted by street-smart, confident, informed kids who get away safe. What's the best way for a parent to teach their children?
Parents can set up scenarios of safety. For example, "Honey, you're in front of the house and somebody drives by and says, 'I'm lost. Could you get in the car and show me where to go?' You explain to your child to say, 'No. At the corner there's a police station. You don't get close to the car and you come home and tell mommy.'" And I think when children have concrete ideas of what to do, they are safe. Ask children if there is an adult at school or church or anywhere who makes them feel very uncomfortable, uneasy, scared. Trust your child's intuition and never make them feel that they will be reprimanded for what they say or feel about another adult, even a family member. Know where your children are at all times, and very small children should never be left alone in public, never. Expect older children to let you know where they are at all times. Make them accountable.
And parents, do your children know where you are right now? Leave your phone number and whereabouts with your children at all times.
Investigate child care providers thoroughly. Check their references, even police records. If you don't trust the person, don't trust them with your child.
I just can't be with my child every minute of the day or night.
You can find another responsible adult as well as empower your children to protect themselves. Kids need information, even if it's a little bit scary. It would be more scary to be kidnapped.
Parents don't want to discuss kidnapping with their children because they think they're too young. Does your child know what a stranger is? A person they have never seen before and whom they should treat with extreme caution. An acquaintance, someone they've seen before but should never mistake for a friend. And a friend, someone who would never do anything to make them feel uncomfortable or frightened.
Teach children whom they can trust. Help your child become a confident and streetwise kid who can trust his or her gut feelings about things. Parents, trust your own intuition about your child's safety. If you don't feel your child should leave, say no.
Do children have to become suspicious and reclusive, afraid of all adults?
Allowing children from a very early age the right to say no, firmly, but respectfully, to adults gives them a sense of personal security. Don't insist, for example, that your child kiss or hug anyone against her will, or you'll teach her it's okay for people to force affection.
Even as young as 2 or 3, children can memorize vital information.
I call for help 911. My name is Susie Rocket. My parents' name is Roger Sarah Rocket. My street number is 222 Main Street. My phone number is 213-455-1111.
Choose a family code word to give to anyone else who must pick up or attend to your child. Make the word memorable. Instruct your children never to tell anyone, even a best friend, what the secret word is.
Newspaper and television news and films present perfect opportunities for family discussions about difficult issues.
I don't want to alarm my children unnecessarily. Just because it happened on television doesn't mean it'll happen here.
When the smoke alarm goes off, you want your children to get out of the house. If she reaches for a boiling pot of water on the stove, you do warn her away. If a dog growls, you want your child to back off, then surely you want to warn your children about possible stranger dangers.
Assemble a current identification package for every member of your family, including yourself. Adults can be kidnapped too. It should include the height, weight, and hair and eye color of the person, dental records, and a recent photograph, preferably color. Replace the photos of older children and adults once a year and 4 times a year for preschoolers because their features change so rapidly. Also include professional fingerprints and hand and palm prints. Your local law enforcement agency or the Identikid Services of America will be glad to assist you. Another good idea is to make a mental note of what your children are wearing each day.
Good communication between parent and child can save that child. Recently, a young girl escaped from a kidnapper by pretending to hyperventilate when a guy held a gun to her side and told her to walk to his car. When she collapsed, pretending, gasping for air, the man ran away. Why was she able to think so intelligently in a crisis? She said, "I listened to my mom."
Now, what about safety strategies for children who are home alone?
Instruct children not to answer the door or the phone at all, except maybe with a prearranged signal from you, such as the phone ringing twice, then pausing, then ringing twice again. It's smart to arrange a special door signal too. If they must answer, they should never reveal that they're alone. Tell them to say something like, "My mom is in the shower, can I take a message?" Or, "My dad is mowing the lawn, please call a little bit later." Also, keep a list close to the phone of emergency phone numbers and numbers of trusted adults. Also, keep a running phone list of all of your children's friends and their favorite hangouts.
What if the worst happens and a child is missing? What should parents do?
Act immediately. Ask anyone nearby if they saw your child or any suspicious people. Call the authorities immediately. If you're at home and your child is not returned, first check the house, the automobiles, and the yard thoroughly, top to bottom, every possible hiding place. Second, contact all the child's friends and search all of his or her favorite places. Then have someone else check them again. Third, call the police within 30 minutes. Thanks to recent legislation in most states, it is a myth that police have to wait 24 hours before acting in a juvenile missing persons case. Fourth, call 1-800-THE-LOST. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children spearheads national efforts to recover missing children. In the last 9 years, they have helped to recover over 22,000 missing children by handling nearly 1 million phone calls and circulating millions of photographs of missing children to law enforcement agencies in North America.
The most important thing you can do is to circulate photographs of your child to as many people as possible in your community.
And keep someone by the phone day and night.
So is it a jungle out there? I mean, is someone dangerous lurking around every corner?
Not really. For the most part, the world is a safe and beautiful place. But there are predators out there who have no boundaries.
So a child's best defense is their own defense.
Absolutely, knowledge is power. A police detective once said, "Show me a kid who isn't wary of strangers, and I'll show you the next victim." It's our job as parents to make our children aware.
Well, thank you, Dr. Schlesinger. And thank you for watching this very important video with us. Share it with your children. Tell other concerned parents and adults about it. We hope it saves some child's life, maybe even yours.
My child is missing. Probably the 4 most frightening words ever spoken by a parent. How do I know this? Because it happened to us. My name is Melinda Jones, and this is my husband, Wayne. We are the founders of the International Association for Missing and Abducted Children.
2.5 years ago, our son was abducted. The trauma that we experienced will never be forgotten. Our son was recovered. Some children never are.
Since then, IAMAC, the International Association for Missing and Abducted Children, has created a 3-fold program: prevention, education, and recovery. While working closely with all law enforcement agencies and through prevention stranger awareness programs, IAMAC can help eliminate the number of missing and abducted children.
IAMAC Video Registration Program is a 5-minute video registration of your child.
That records your child's voice, movements, and any other identifying characteristics that could be vital in the search for a missing child. Our mission is to prepare you to fight against stranger abduction.
We can be reached at 1-800-RESCUE-KIDS. That is 1-800-737-2835.
Greetings, Earthlings!
Great news! Capricorn, America's favorite alien exchange student, is starring in some other new, fun educational films. Capstone Entertainment and Safe Kids have created a whole series of Capricorn's adventures. In future movies, Corny will learn from Earth friends like you about all kinds of great things like honesty and self-esteem. Don't miss Corny's future movies, and remember, safe kids are no accident.
Stop, think, listen to your heart. Don't be scared.